Hi everyone, you might have seen this style of cool transition in many videos. We can create this cool transition without using any third-party plugin. If you want to practice along, you can download the project. My name is Naresh and let's do this. Start a new project by creating new composition. Let's call it master. Let's create another comp, name it page 1. Use any image or video you want to uncover as a second layer. I am using this pre-comp as BG. So this is nothing but the image file that I am going to uncover using my paper transition. So add page 1. So page 1 is our top layer and background is our bottom layer. Open page 1 composition and add this paper texture. You can use whatever you want to use as a paper texture, that is your choice. I am using this one. Add any text you want to add to this texture and pre-compose it. Name it as text and texture. Now right click and add new solid, white solid layer. Click OK. Use a pen tool and create this zigzag mask like a toned paper. Go to effects and presets and search for roughen edges. Select and drop it on solid. Play with the settings, change the border to 50, edge sharpness to 5, scale to 200 and complexity to 10. You can tweak these settings to your desired look. This subtle effect gives it more natural look of paper tears. Press S and scale it little bit so this extra edges will disappear. Select text and texture and change the track matte to white solid one. If this option is not visible, click here at toggle switches. Alright, go to our master composition, select page 1 and reveal its source in the project and duplicate it. Now rename it as page 1 lower. We will use it to create the lower half of the paper tear transition. Drag and drop this composition over the top of the page 1. Double click it and open it to edit it. Select text with paper and invert the matte. Come to master. You can see now we have two tone layers. Now select the page 1 lower and add CC page turn effect from effects and presets. Change back opacity to 100 so it's not transparent, and in the controls drop down we need to select the best option for where we want our tear to occur. I am going to select top left corner because I want it to tear from left to right. Then at the start of our animation, add a keyframe by clicking the stopwatch next to the fold position. Now change the fold position so that it just completely covers the background and not too much past it. Now I am going to go forwards roughly 2 seconds and then I am going to drag this along to create our tear. Zoom out a bit more until that page is completely off screen. So I am just going to press N to bring our endpoint out and play that through it. It's not complete yet. There are a few other steps we need to go through. First thing is how to get rid of this transparent back of our paper. So now this is our page 1 lower. You can right click and reveal source in project. Press Command and D and duplicate the page 1 lower and rename it as page 1 lower back. Drop it into our main composition and turn it off because we don't need to see it. And then our page 1 and then go to our page 1 lower, select the effect, and in the back page select page 1 lower back. See, nothing has happened because it still contains the text. Go to page 1 lower, click it to open, reveal this layer in the project, duplicate it and rename whatever you want to rename. Open this layer and remove the text. Go to page 1 lower back composition and replace text with paper composition with only paper composition by pressing Alt and dropping the composition over it. Go back to our master composition. Boom, it worked. You can see now that the back page is clean without any text. Alright, white tear marks ideally can be seen when the paper is torn. Such subtle details makes animation more professional. Let's do that. We can do this quite simply by going to our first page and duplicating the solid layer. Now place it at the bottom and turn it on. Now select the mask path from the solid and let's just move this down slightly. There we go. Now if you go back to our master composition, you will see nice white edge along the torn path, and that's already much better. But I want more imperfection in there. So I'm going to play around with the mask path so we have thicker and thinner points along the line, and that's looking quite good. So let's go back to our master composition and we can play this through. That's looking pretty good. So I'm going to repeat the same steps for the page 1 lower back composition. So go to page 1 lower back composition, duplicate solid layer and just move it up slightly and invert it, and done. Back to our master composition to give it bit more depth. So let's search for the drop shadow and bring on drop shadow. Let's up the distance to 50 and the softness to 75. That's good. I'm just going to change the direction so it's moving further left and then right. Alright, there you go. And then let's also add drop shadow to our bottom half of our first page. So I'm just going to bring a drop shadow. Let's do a really big distance here. So 225 to 220 and then a softness of 250. But let's alter the direction so it's aiming right over the left. Tweak the direction if you see these marks. Okay, now it disappears. That's looking pretty good. Let's play that through, and there we have our finished paper tag. You can add some sauce by right clicking and adding a new adjustment layer. Then you can use some grain. You can even add a sound effects and your paper transition is ready to use. Thank you. See you in the next one. Another important thing is that when you are using the black paper texture other than the white, then you end up seeing this weird white tear line. I don't know how to remove it. If you just do, then please mention in the comments.